Am I live? I'm off my fast. I've had a barnet cut, right, ready for Friday. Give me a 5x5 if you can see and hear me. Yes, I did know you was there, by the way. I was doing certain things. By the way, I'm off my fast gently from tonight. So I've had some soup, this stuff, Mockingbird, raw greens, which is a virgin smoothie crafted with kiwi, pear, cow, spinach, broccoli, apple and vitamin C. Cold pressed fruit and veg for taste and nutrition. Tastes lovely, I'd like to tell you. Because you've got to be a bit gentle with yourself when you do it. So, are you all listening? Here we go, Freeman. Who is this? No, this is not Freeman law. This is the real law of the land. So you've got two different things. Before I go into this, I'm going to show you some stuff. And I've also sent out, which I want everyone to massively retweet. So what I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to talk to you about a few things. The other side, but I'll stop that one because it's live on there. David Ball making it clear that he thinks immigration is the lifeblood of the country and always has been. Is there any doubt that reform is simply conservative too? And if so, what was your point of voting for them? I absolutely agree. And I've been telling people, you want constitutionalists and we can train you. We can get you up to speed. But to get you up to speed and knowing the basics of the Constitution and you representing your constituents, you need to do our course, which is coming up. And when I get down to Devon, I'm going to write it, right? I have decided I am fucking literally, it's the perfect place. But for the gentleman who said, and I know he was only kidding, right? Here we go, free man of the land shit. No, right? What I show you is what it says in here. And I'm going to show you something because it's important. And in fact, I'm going to try it. I'm not sure if there it is, right? So I've already started getting some retweets on this. Fuck me. There's 12 already, right? That is shocking. Right, but I do need to show you this, and don't forget to when you so you go through a process when you do a retweet, right? You retweet it, you comment on it, you put a love art on it, and then you bookmark it, right? So you can come back to it, and it's important that you do that. What I'm going to do is smash this out there. Do apologise for coughing, but yes, I am off. The reason I've come off my fast, by the way, is I can feel myself because you've got no sugar in your body, right? Which I don't want any in my body, but or I don't want unnatural sugar in my body, but you can feel yourself going, right? And what I don't want to do is have that. So one of the rules of first aid, I don't know if just to make sure everyone understands this, one of the rules of first aid, if you see someone in the office or whatever lose their temper and fucking growling at people and all that, go and give them a glass of orange juice, right? Because it means their blood sugar level is low, right? I can feel all my muscles. I can feel everything coming back in again, right? So what I'm doing is coming off the fast gently tonight. I'll have something to eat tomorrow. I have to be careful. I don't have to wear a nappy, right? To the cycle, and I ain't kidding you, right? Because if you eat the wrong things or do the wrong thing, if you haven't eaten... So I think today's the 8th day, maybe the 7th day, 7th or 8th day. without any food consumption whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, you have to drink plenty of water, and I'm not sure if it's there or not, but I mean, if you go and look in my kitchen at the moment, I've got a load of lemons, fresh lemons. I went and bought some more today, right? And that's pure lemon juice. So what it does, it cleans your kidneys out, it passes and helps passes through your kidneys, etc., and you get all the nasty stuff out, right, of your body. So this is lovely. Because it is actually lemon juice, right? There you go. But before we get into anything else, I need to show you this, and I'm hoping I can read it off the screen. But just to let you know, I've put it out there, and I've sent it to Rupert Lowe. Now, I ain't totally bitching about Rupert Lowe. I don't want anyone to think that is what I'm doing, right? But he is slightly misguided. It's a bit like the military, right? Everyone's been programmed to think, and I'm going to do. Let me go back to my normal screen a sec, because I think this is so important. I've got to do it, right? Everyone's looking for a prism, right? And that prism is British, right? Look behind me as I say this, right? If you come away from the prism, you start to see the English law, right? And the English law is 1,100 years as a single nation, and then we've got other bits and pieces. So I just want everyone to understand that. It's really important. So, again, let me have a quick look. I've never believed in the jabs, and I'm glad I stuck to my guns. Good, Davey boy. I'm going to show you this on the screen. People need to understand, and the British military, if there's things I can tell you from this book, I was laughing, right? And again, different editions will have different things, but the laws of England are the laws of England. So even in the latest edition, you should find it. And if you don't find it, that's just something. But elections in there, everything's in there. But I do need to say this stuff to you. And by the way, all our election common law rights, and then you've got the constitutional rights in the statutes. So they're the statutes, and this is the common law, right? So you've got two different, and anyone out there that says statutes ain't law, that's bullshit, right? And I can tell you why it's bullshit, because statutes are in effect charters. The only reason they changed the name, right, of them, I'm not suggesting that you should never go against the rights of the Magna Carta. You should never go against the English Bill of Rights. You should never go against. You've got constitutional rights, which is what I talk about, and constitutional laws. Majorly, I want to read this out to you. All right, so here we go. I'm going to send it back up and put it on the screen. I need this tweeted out to everyone. I'm going to put it out there again. I need you to go through the process. Right, so before I just show you that, have a read through it. You want to hit retweet, you want to hit the like button, and then hit that button there, right? You put it in your bookmark and then make comments on it politely to Rupert Lowe, right? Because I'm not sort of bitching. I think he's semi on our side and semi not, right? But I am not interested in a uni-party in any way or form, and I'm not interested in changing our constitutional rights. If you want to add to them, be my guest, as long as it does improve our rights, right? But if you want to any way or form take away from our rights, then you're getting a big no from me, right? And that is, and the Protestant religion, the Christian religion in England is highly protected, right? And that's what this book tells you. You said in an interview, this is to Rupert Lowe, you said in an interview, Britain is a country. That is not the case. It is an island with a damaging political union. By the way, Halsbury's laws of England state the truth in law, right? Scotland and Ireland, this is what it says, verbatim, right? Scotland and Ireland is for the most purposes as much a foreign country as France and Germany. You need to learn, and I've said, you need to learn the English law before you set foot in Parliament. As an English common lawyer, as we used to be called, right? So in other words, you don't know your rights. So as a member of Parliament is in there to protect your constitutional rights and freedoms and liberties. That's their job. And then to represent you as constituents, not a political party, right? That's why our manifesto is the English Constitution Party. and the education side, which is the English Constitution Society. The English Constitution Party's manifesto, the brand is England, and the manifesto is the English Constitution. That's it, right? You're there. We do not have whips. So if you try to say X, Y, Z, if you're representing your constituents, that's fine by us, right? Even if someone joined that, said something completely outrageous, I would simply say, have your members of your constituents put that to you, and if that he or she said yes, I'd say you're doing nothing wrong. I ain't going to stop you. Ain't going to. All I'm saying is, if we ever get votes on laws and we all turn around, because we should all be trained on the English Constitution and the common law, and that affects the rights. And by the way, it says it in here, right, that no law should be constructed against the English rights. So, in other words, when they construct a law and they start, and it must never be. It must never be interpreted against the rights of an Englishman in this book, right? So just to make sure I'm telling you exactly what's going on here, right? Now, what I'm going to do, I doubt very much if this is going to help me. I've put it in there, introduction. This is part of the book. This one is Halsbury's Laws of England, 4th edition, volume 8, constitutional law, right? Conflict of laws. And there's some land rights in there as well. And what I'm doing is just showing him it's come from the book. I've took a picture of it and I've sent it to him, because you can't keep saying things, because your mind has been indoctrinated to think a certain thing. You can't keep doing that. Someone has to stop these people, right? And I'm going to get to the good bits. You're going to fucking love this, right? And I'll tell you what the good bits are once I finish doing this. So what I'm going to do at the moment is cross back over to that. So I want as many people as possible to retweet that. I'll come back to it in a couple of minutes. I'll leave it up, but it's really important you retweet it, right? Stop sharing. What I'm going to do now is go back to, and let's hope I can find it. Hang on a minute. If you send me any messages and you see a dot, I've just shown for the millionth time why I do that. Is because the camera is right in front of the screen. So when the message is coming up and I can't see the message because the camera's there. So I put a dot in it and it raises the message up and I can see it, right? Can you make I'm also also will be off about 8. Got a Zoom meeting. No. Yeah, turn it in, Dazzing. Yeah, turn it in, Josie and Lucy. You got to be in here. Right. Let me just go and see if I can see something. I don't know who the person is. Well, I do. I'm English. We're not British. Let me see if I can see this. Oh, fucking hell. Everything's in my way tonight. And then I'll get stuck in. It is important I do this. Not dashboard. I need account settings. Moderation. Moderators. Add. Oh, fuck. I can't do it like that. Let's go back. Let's go back onto there. Oh, I've got a problem. Waiting for encoding to start. Why is that doing that? Are you all seeing me live? Let me take that down. Let me see if I can see him. I can't see him in the chat. I'm looking for I'm English, not British. Where is he? I'm English, not British. Say hello to me in the chat, because I'm looking for you and I can't see you. Juicy Lucy Taffbat is in bed catching up with the hermit time last night. Where is he? I can't see him. Oh, there he is. Let's have a look. It says, oh, how do I do that? I've got to try and copy you. I nearly fucking banned you from the channel by accident. It does happen, by the way. That people laugh and they go to us, yeah, why am I banned? And I'll say, well, yeah, I'm banned forever. And they're not, because I've got to try and copy that and I can't copy it. Trust you have some sort of fucking long name. I can't block elements. I can't get to the name. Let me see if that. Right. Oh yeah, I found a way of doing it. Copy. Let me see if I can go back there. Count options. Right. Let me have a look. Moderation. Moderators. Enter name. Paste. Make sure I'm not blocking anyone. No, I'm not. Alright, add. It says, why not? Unable to find such a user. What? Let's make sure I've got it all. Maybe it don't like that. Add moderator. Right. It's saying it can't find you. It's telling me it can't find you, which is wrong. So for some reason, it doesn't like your name, and I don't know why. So I've copied it exactly as it is. Let me try that one. Maybe there's a space in it. That shouldn't be. No, don't like it. Don't like your name. I'm trying to add you and it won't do it. Right. So I'll sit right. So I'm going to get it up on the screen again. I don't know why that is. Add moderator. Moderator. Right. So let me go back. 1, 2. Oh, bollocks. I've just cut out my whole thing. Rumble account. Let me go back. Why has that gone pear-shaped on me? The whole thing's gone pear-shaped on me. Continue. Confirm your resubmission. Right, so now I'm going to go back to there. My content. I'll go back on that one. Before I do anything else, I apologise to anyone watching. I've just got to sort this out. Right, now. I'm English, not British. Put me a message in, and then I can see if you're a moderator. It should come up straight away. Tracy Tourism. Apologies for coughing on the mic. It's my mic though, but it's your ear rolls. Do apologise. Let me have a look. English. I'm English, not British. Put it in the thing. Let me have a look. I'm English. Right. If you come up as a moderator, I don't think you have. I'll give it a couple of minutes. It might take a bit of time. But it don't normally. It normally comes straight up. What's a moderator look like, by the way? You'll know if you're a moderator. What's that funny shield? Middlesex man. Tell me if you want to be a moderator as well. You have to be. Listen, you can't just block people because you think they're an irritating bastard. Unless they are irritating bastards, right? Let me have a look. I've put all that up there. Is it if you put a message in there to me? No, you haven't. Right, let's have a look. Right, so hopefully you should be a moderator. Okay, cool. But tell me, so someone needs to tell me if you're a moderator. Are you coming up as a moderator? Right, what else was we talking? Oh, I needed to show you this, didn't I? So the reason I went into this, you'll have to remind me again before the end of the show, because I can only make you a moderator if I know exactly what your name is. And it has to be spelt exactly the same. I don't know why that weren't working. Let's see if these come up on there. Juicy and Lucy, there'd be no one left live download. No, there wouldn't be. Some people are irritating though. His name is in pink. Yeah, but he's out there. Right, let's have a quick look because I need to show you this before you all lose interest. It's really important stuff tonight. You're gonna love this, right? Some of the stuff I've seen here, I've just said this to someone. I said, listen, I'm telling you now, right? Now, did you know And I'm hoping to find this information in here. Let's see if I can go back and find this, right? All your common law rights are in here. Exactly what I'll tell you. It's not as if it's not difficult to work out, right? But there's some things in here. The Crown is not bound by fiction of law, right? So they're telling you the law is a fiction as well, which I think is funny. But let me just go back. There is something I need to say to you. Let's see if I can go and find it. It's really important that you understand this. I'm going to show you some stuff. Duty towards the subject. What was the other thing I needed to find out? There was a thing about communism. You're gonna like this. You're gonna fucking love it. I'll tell you, right? Did you know? I'll say it before I find it and show it to you, and I'm sure I've got it in there somewhere. Here it is. I found it on the screen. Hopefully, I've took a photo. Oh dear, this book is so old that the bookmark is coming away. Right. At paragraph 1310, security in the civil service. So I'm going to read you this, right, and just so you understand what this first part is, right. Security in the civil service. Rules exist governing the use and custody of the official documents and varying with the degree of secrecy or confidentiality attributed to them. It's a breach of discipline for civil servants not to obey those rules. And this is constitutional law or common law, right? In addition, civil servants may be subjected to a purge, and they've got it in inverted commas, procedure, and a positive vetting procedure. The purge procedure is designed to prevent persons with a communist or fascist associations being employed on work, the nature of which is vital to the security of the state, right? Listen, right? So to all you military veterans out there, come and speak to me, right? Because what we've got is 141 Fabian Society members being elected to that parliament. You're seeing them destroy our country in front of your eyes, right? We have the right to purge them. Purge, fuck off, right? Now, Keir Starmer is an executive member of the Fabian Society. It's Marxist, communist, right? Sadiq Khan is an executive member of the Fabian Society. It's purging, right? People need to understand that. Listen, I ain't lying to you. It's in this book, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, I can't believe it actually says that, and it does. What have I always told you, right? I'm not a communist. I'm not a fascist. I'm an Englishman. And the English do not believe, and the English common law does not allow authoritarian government. Fascism and communism, they're two sides of a different coin, the same thing in effect, which means it ain't no good for you. Do you all understand what I just said to you? Right? Give me an English flag in a chat on Rumble if you fully understand what I've just told you, right? So it literally says, and there's more in this and more about it. So when you understand that most of the Fabian, so Jeremy, what was his name? Not Jeremy Farmer. It might have been Jeremy. It's not Jeremy. It might be Jeremy Ferrer. There's a particular. He was a cabinet minister. He was the cabinet secretary, and he had a lot of control. So he was in charge of the civil service. He was a Fabian, right? And his wife wrote about it as well. So it's not bullshit coming from me. And again, when they murdered the doctor, you remember that he was found, and he did a report and said there's no weapons of mass destruction. Everyone will say his name in a couple of seconds, right? Yeah, basically, he was the one who recorded that meeting, but didn't record, didn't take notes of the meeting, right? Which is common purpose, right? and they had a discussion about it, and that was it. Nothing ever happened. So just to make sure, if you all understand that. Now, there's some other bits that I was going to briefly. There's loads of stuff in this, but these books, right? So just to make sure everyone's aware, one of our supporters walked into a bookshop down in Eastbourne, I think it was, and he see an old bookshop, and he said, "You only got books on law, mate?" He went, "Yeah." He said, "What you got?" He said, "I've got these." He said, "How many of them you got?" He said, "Oh, I don't know, about 20, maybe more." Right? We don't know. There may be a full set in there, right? So he went, "Well, how much do you want for them?" Right? And it wasn't a lot of money. Let me put it this way: it was 20 quid, right? But it is a lot of money because I'm grateful for the donation. So I've got these 20 books, right? And I've read these elements before, but it's much better when you read it from a book, right? Not from a PDF, because I don't trust PDFs technically. Anyway, cut a long story short, the guy said, "Yeah, go on, give us a score." So he took them away, and then he said to me, "Do you want these books?" I said, "Is there anything on constitutional law in them? Because they're the ones I really need. But I do need to pack out this thing behind me, right?" He went, "Yeah, well, the whole set is about 80 books, right? And it's the common law of England, right? The real common law. So it tells you what the laws of England are, and it's paragraphed out. And then it goes into a discussion. It gives you all the cases, right? That's why it's invaluable for you to understand it. I can tell you, right, this where it says the Crown is not bound by statute unless the contrary is expressly. There's loads of things in this, right? Let me put this. So, Stoppel, 96. The Crown is not bound by fiction of law. It may be possible to take advantage of estoppel by deed, although not, it seems, where the estoppel arises through its own letters of patent. Right? Privilege of the royals, proclamations promising a pardon. A proclamation promising pardon does not have legal effect of a pardon, but following such proclamation, the court will defer execution of sentence and also allow time for the prisoner to apply for a pardon. Right? The grant of pardon, nature of pardon, pardons and reprieves, all of this is in there, by the way. Judicial Committee of Privy Council, everything you can ever want to know about, and the Constitution, the common law constitutional setup. I'm going back to right. So now I'm going to get into the rights, principles of natural justice, freedom from discrimination, right to strike, right to participate in government, which is part of what we're talking about now, right to privacy, social rights, and there's a lot more. The title of the Crown, and explains, which is what I've been telling you, that the monarch is a legal fiction, and the monarch as a legal fiction can never die. It just passes on. That's why the succession is really important. The right of public meetings, just to make sure, this is crucially important for Charlie Staples' case. The right to the protection of the law, right of association, the right of public meetings, freedom of conscience. You're going to like this. Freedom of expression, right? Freedom of expression incorporates both the right to receive and to express ideas and information and the secrecy of private communications. So you can't have encryption, right? And then it goes into more detail about it, but it basically says that it is limited, right? Right. So when I say limited, you can't commit treason and do things like that. Right to property, again, right to life, right to personal liberty. Source of civil liberties, and then it goes in and tells you different things. There's so much in this. It's love, and that's why. So Tracy says to me, "Are you doing a show tonight?" I said, "Sorry, I got carried away." Oh, right, I'm like that. I think I'm a bit hyper now because it feels like I've had sugar and I haven't. Liberty of the subject. 828. Duties and rights of the subject. Active duties of the subject tells you what your duty is as a subject of the realm. And again, just to make sure everyone's aware, that's all in this one book, right? That's the constitutional law book. I'm going to show you something else. And it's really important. I hope it's in this one. I'm not sure if I can get straight to it. but I think I can because this is in volume, and I've told you what this is. By the way, I will get onto the case because there's been some interesting developments, as you would expect, right? Amendments, school amendments, duty of parents. I'm not sure if I've done that. I might have to change that one. So let me have a look. Elections. Yeah, where am I going to find that? Elections. Ballot paper, account, continued verification, absent voters. Some of this elections, right? So abandonment of the poll, death. There's election petitions. Election. Don't forget, this is the laws of England, right? So declaration, identity, marking of, rejection, witnessing. Ballot papers continued, postal, issued, notice of. I've got to try and find it. Where can I find that? It did actually tell me where it was. City of London, Clerk of the Chancery, Canvas, and I've got to go through this stuff. But we are election petition, right? Abatement on application to the High Court, Rules 2, and that's 958. Contributions to by local authorities, disagreement of judges, orders where, a discretion of the court as to, and I've got to go through all this, general rule, legal aid not available, right, which is wrong because they're denying you your access. It is actually, voting is a constitutional and common law right. Now, what this actually tells you, let me see if I can put it on the, I marked it earlier. This is what annoys me because I need to put a little thing on it so I can go to it. Death, candidate, declaration, identity, expenses, qualifications. I can't remember where it was. I marked it though. Anyway, what it basically said is exactly what I've said in the petition, right? That your suffrage rights come from the first statute of Westminster in 1275, and it says Chapter 5 and freedom of elections, right? So I'm like, okay, and it's all in here. Not that I know it wouldn't be, but the thing is, you've got to make sure that when you're actually saying what the law is, substitution, security for costs, security, that's in present petitioners, etc. Election petition continued. Indictable offences, judicial office. There's some other stuff in here, but the basis of it is there was two things. I've got to go and find that again. It's really annoying that I can't find it. Penal convictions include punishment of illegal practices, consequences of corrupt or illegal criminal practices, punishment of corrupt. A corrupt practice is punishable. Conviction or indictment of summary conviction. A person cannot be prosecuted summarily where he is already subject to incapacity. We'll come back to that in a minute. Illegal payments to employers, paid canvasser, candidate's liability, false statements as to a candidate is illegal. Statement to candidate's character. It is an illegal practice if before or during an election any person, for the purposes of effecting a return of any candidate at the election, makes and publishes any false statement of fact in relation to the candidate's personal character or conduct, unless he can show he had reasonable grounds for believing and did believe that the statement to be true. Any director of any body of association, corporate, blah blah blah, or used threat or false temporary. I'm trying to find this thing. Proof effects of legitimate expenses, other instances, charitable, travelling, loss of time while voting, consideration, other corrupt, bribery. There's lots of things in it, all about elections. It's fantastic, right? But the major thing is, it does tell you in here, and I've got to try and bleed and find it again. I wonder if I can find it. This is elections, contents, legislation, conduct, election campaign, questioning elections, criminal procedures, injunctions, and then it goes on from there. But it tells you, in effect, that there are two main laws which I've put in the petition that protect your right and to freedom of election, right? And that means no interference whatsoever. And it is, and it's in that book, it is what I said it was, which is the First Statute of Westminster, Chapter 5, and the English Bill of Rights. And it says it's like doubly protected, right? So it's not a Mickey Mouse thing. So let's get on a little bit further. I'll tell you what else is happening. I can tell you now, this morning, I'm looking at emails coming in, like you've never seen, right? They're trying to do everything to kick this case out of the court, right? I'm like, it's not happening. Right? So bearing in mind I've already got half a fucking wig of what they're trying to do. So I've written a submission which I'm going to be putting in to say no, you can't keep this case out, and the reason you can't is this: bang, 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 bang. Also, technically, they're not allowed. If they're doing it on these technical things, I've got them saying to me, "Have you got a certificate of service? We need to see that. We need to see proof that you've sent these." So they're trying everything to try and get it thrown out, right? Listen, my name ain't stupid, right? You may think I'm stupid because I'm a working class man, right? But see, you people who went to university, other people can read as well, right? Indication, right? So I said it all to. I said, listen, it ain't a problem to me, right? At the end of the day, and what they're trying to do is, one of them is trying to be really helpful. Oh, I'm just going to do this bundle for you, and would you like a bundle and all that, right? And this is returning officers, solicitors, and there's 3 or 4 of them, right? And what they're doing is they're trying to find something to string it out, and I'm like, ain't happening, right? And then they put, I'm going to tell you what I'll read back to them, right? I've got to say this because so basically they've said to me, you do realise that, have you been told the likelihood of you getting any conclusion to this, and the costs that it's going to cost you? They all start on costs. Ask Chinese Staples, right? Keep banging on about costs. And they're the ones who start ramping up the costs, right? So just to make sure you're aware of this, because I'm going to read it out to you, what I said to them, right? Hopefully it comes in, and there's something else I've got to look at later, right? But he's read what I've put. They're going to arrange a bundle. Please let us know you receive a copy of, right? Because I need the bundle. I don't mind them doing it. To be fair, by law they have to do that. Because I've expressed, listen, I'm not a member of your profession. I'm not a solicitor. I'm not a barrister. I don't run my business. I'm not running a business. That I'm a litigant in person and a candidate, right? And therefore, certain rules that come in place, and they have to go do all the printing for you, right? So I thought, yeah, go on, we'll have some of that, right? Anyway, he said to me about, I just got to make sure you get. I'm sort of polite, but putting it on him, right? And I said, yeah, I would like a bundle. And yes, I would like the certificate of service included in the bundle. Your final point, this is where he said to me, you do realise you're going to be in a lot of financial difficulty. You need to get, this is what he said to me, you need to get legal advice. Fuck off, cunt. Right? I'm like, yeah, well, get another one of you to say, fuck it, why we've lost all our fucking rights because of you lot, right? Not standing up for us, and all they're doing, right, is processing law. None of them can see it, right? The only time they can fight back, if I see one of them on a laptop in there, I'm going to say to listen, if they want to quote law at me, they better be doing it from the book, because if there's anything that comes out of there that's AI and don't stack up, I expect the judge to throw them out of this court, right? You're either going to read law, right, or you're not. But don't quote anything to me that's AI and wrong. Because if you do that, I'll literally say you have tried to corrupt this courtroom, right? So anyway, I said, listen to this. I'm just going to read it out to you. You can tell me what you think, right? Your final point. I took an oath to England and our constitution. Do you all remember that? Do you remember me taking the oath to England and our constitution? Right. Put an England flag in the Rumble chat. By the way, anyone listening on YouTube, you can only put an English flag and the other flags of our nation in here, and they all come up on the screen. That's why everyone loves it. They go, yeah, England, and you put all the English flags up. They should flood up all over the screen. I'll show you in a minute, and you'll be able to see it, and you'll think it's fun. Actually, seeing as we're on YouTube, I might cross that over and show you. Right? Let me put it up. I'm going to ask. Live chat, right? So I'm going to put the live chat. It's great, right? And then that way it comes up, right? Let's go back to the live chat. So at the moment, if I had a black thing behind that, or even a black man standing behind me, would you like to? Not really. I'm joking, right? I'm hyper now because I've had some sugar. Right. Steve Lomas has put it in there. So everyone on YouTube, I'm not sure on YouTube if you can see that, but on Rumble, you can actually put an English flag in it. If you join our channel, we've got about 4 or 5 special English flags, which when we said to Rumble, listen, every other platform won't let us show our English flag. We want to show our English flag in a love art in its form or whatever. And they went, oh no, we'll allow you to do this. So anyone who joins our channel, you get access to put the English flag up. Look at them all coming up on the screen. Can you see them coming up on the screen? And it's hilarious, right? And then you've got all the British joining. I said, where's our British flag? She went, no, ain't one. Fuck off. Can't join the British channel, all right? They're a minority anyway. A bit like the pride flag. Listen, we don't tolerate any of that on this channel, right? So anyway, let me cut to the chase. Can I ask anyone on Rumble, can you see the actual video, and are you seeing the English flag coming up on the chat? I need to ask anyone who is watching. Look at them. They're all steaming. Put loads of them in there so it just lights up with the English flag, and people will know when they're watching on Rumble. They'll go, oh, I never knew that. What, you get all that on Rumble? Yeah, you do. Little simple things matter, I tell you. Anyone, so if you're going to put a comment on YouTube and tell me if you can see that on your screen, right? I'm waiting for it to come up. I don't know if it's up there. Let me put that back out there. Oh. Let's have a look. Taffy Pat, because I'm going to leave it up there. And don't forget, I'm English, not British. Is your thing come up or not? Are you now a moderator? Don't forget, sharing is caring. The more you share, the more you care. So put that out there. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. We've now gone over the 8,000 subscriber mark. So well done to all of you for promoting the channel. We're over the 8,000 subscriber mark. Don't forget, Rumble is going to be the place to be, and we're getting in front, right? And all of these people on YouTube are going to be going, whoa, it's not as good as YouTube. I had thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and all these people did all this. And do you know what you say to them? Yeah. Now you're seeing something without AI driving it. This is about the people driving it, right? That's the difference, right? And you're not getting all these fake bots out there. People who watch this channel for a reason. They're getting a proper education. How many people believe by watching this channel, certainly in the last 3 years, and possibly watching me over the last 10 to 15 years, that you've had an education on England? Just give me an English flag with a yes, just so we can keep that going up. Neil Phillips, 1 minute ago. Let me have a look at that. I ain't saying anything else. Can anyone see? So if you're on YouTube, someone's put the English flag up on YouTube and it's coming up as a black flag. That's what we're trying to tell you. You don't get that on Rumble, right? You put the English flag up, there's all English love arts, there's English everything, right? It's about England, right? We keep pushing it out there. Hang on a minute, what's this one? Scotland, what's this one? Scotland in support of Graham, but English granny. Scotland grandma, I am Scottish. Again, it's flying up, this is. Right, I love Scotland. I ain't got an issue with Scotland. I've got an issue with the ruling class in Scotland and the governance of Scotland, and it's none of my business. Get fuck out of England, right? And the same as the English, but ruling classes, butt out of Scotland. The Scots have solved their Scottish problem. The Northern Irish have solved their Northern Irish problem. The Cornish have solved their problem. The Welsh have solved their problem, and England will build borders and say, listen, you socialists, if you want it that way, fucking have it, right? But we ain't having it, and you're not taking liberties with our rights again, ever. Right? It's as simple as that. Do you want me to carry on reading this letter now? Now I've got highly amused by the chat. I shouldn't do that because it distracts me badly. Right? I'm having a right laugh here. I shouldn't be really. I won't sleep tonight. Now I've had something to eat. It's like a sugar boost, and it's not your body's taking it in. On my chest, right? If I stood up, or my stomach's gone flat, my chest feels like there's muscles there. My arms feel like there's muscles there. Let me just go like that. Look. Come on, girls. Look, do you want me to come? I'll show you my six pack, right? I haven't got one yet because there's too much skin there, but I am working on that with castor oil and other bits and pieces, right? So I'll be walking around Devon going, hello, babe, how you doing, and all that, and they'll be going, oh, he's from London. I'll tell you what, there's more Londoners in there. There's loads of Londoners in Devon. They're lovely. Devon is lovely, right? I'm going to carry on reading this letter now. Are you ready, right? Yes, I would like a bundle, blah, 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 blah. I took an oath to England and our constitution. That oath means more to me than financial security. My country, England, means more to me than anything else. I would rather die a pauper than fail to stand up to constitutional corruption and electoral fraud. I have studied the English constitution for 30 years. I would not wish to be a legal professional, in inverted commas, or take their advice in constitutional matters. The term legal professional is now meaningless, as many of you break the law every single day. So the direct answer to what you have said is simply, I know the risk, right? And some of us have to listen. We ain't got the arsehole of what I mean by that is the bottle courage, right? Of our ancestors, where they was in trenches and fought for us. Our ancestors who literally stood up unarmed against the British and the Cheshire Yeomanry, which is basically the armed farmers, who slaughtered 19 of us for simply demanding the vote. Right, working class people, and when I say working class, I mean tradesmen, right? Because the law as it stood then was you could only have a vote if you was a landowner, right? Over 55 shillings. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure I've seen 55 shillings is what the law was. So all I'm saying to everyone out there, right, is them people stood up for us. Anyone promoting do not vote, they're very ignorant of English law, right, and the common law. They may be focused on one section of law. Remember what I said, right? If you're focused on one section of law, the English constitution goes like that, right? And that's what you've got to be looking at. So I'm trying to help. Can anyone give me an answer to whether or not you can? So on the video output to YouTube, can you see the English flag, and is the chat coming up as a direct feed to the YouTube? That's what I'm asking. And can you see the flags? I'm sure people have already answered. If you haven't, just come back to me. But what did you think of my reply, by the way, to them? Tell me if you thought it was shit. Because you still have to be somewhat polite. So again... that's what I want to know. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. I do not know what the YouTube channel is called. Very good, Sir Ellen. I don't want any of this group going over to YouTube, but I want the YouTubers to try and encourage people to get over to the Rumble channel. Eventually, it's gone, right? And people need to know that. John at large, yes, thank you. Sandy, yeah, it's up there. Spot on, Graham. Wisham, outstanding patriot reply, DD. Thank you, Scotty, the red pill. Now they know they are in a real fight. And again, I have to be polite in that court, and I have to be, because I'm representing you as the English Constitution Party, the English Constitution Society, and the people that are coming up there. By the way, it also says that every tribunal must allow access to members of the public, unless there's a national security reason to exclude them. Right, so everyone's entitled to be in a court. Excellent, DD. You have probably blown their brains out by telling them you took an oath to England. Probably. I mean, they're all sitting there laughing, saying there's no such country as England. And all I'm going to say, well, that's not what the Halsbury Statute of the Halsbury Laws of England says. And again, going back to, let's go and have a look and see if that's on there. I'll have to go back to this and see how many people have responded, because this is where we need help. We need to work as a team, right? You can't be too blatant, but it's gone out there. It's had 38 retweets so far, 47 likes, right? 15 people have bookmarked it. That's what makes it start kicking, right? I watched recently an interview with Robert Lowe with Connor, and I was shocked when he said the Act of Union is very important, and then went on to say that the UK should be one country with one government, as the Act of Union intended started at 3550. And the problem with all of that he should know is that is incorrect in English law, and he is betraying this country, right? And again, you've got other people. England's a birthright. I'm English, not British. Great stuff. He's put that out there. Let me retweet that. Don't forget to retweet everything on there. I cannot retweet this post. Why? Or bookmark it. I don't know. Let me have a look and see if... No, well, I'm following you. Maybe Rupert Lowe, who believes in freedom of expression and freedom of speech, etc., the English rights, as he says, has muted me, right? In which case, you should all ask him, why have you muted Graham Moore? Why have you muted this person who is trying to educate you on English law, right? And if he thinks he doesn't need or he doesn't need any form of education, he clearly does in what he said. So again, Angry Hippo, who I'm grateful to, I was actually trying to find the point because there was a clip of him actually saying it. And what we need to do is put that clip on there. There is another clip I've sent out on Twitter, which is by the way, I've had a journalist in Runcorn and Halsbury that have said to me, Graham, what's this petition about? And what do you expect to get out of it? And blah blah blah. And I've sent him the petition. I said, this is about rights, right? And I said, I'm not a fascist. I'm not a communist. I'm an English constitution. I'm not even what they describe as an English nationalist, right? I'm certainly not an ethno nationalist, right? Although I completely respect that we are in the main white English, right? But I am a constitutionalist. The Constitution of England would solve all of these problems if you went back to it, right? When I say went back to it, I mean enforce it. And then you void what's been done. And another thing that Rupert Lowe keeps doing, he keeps talking about repeal, right? That's because whoever is advising him, right, doesn't understand the law. Even if they're a barrister or a solicitor, they don't understand the difference between void and repeal. Void means abolish. It never existed. It was unlawful in the first place, right? Because it infringed our rights or our nation or caused harm to our nation in some way, then you have the perfect right to avoid it. And again, in our history, I think it was 1708, we did that. We voided the, or it might have been 1711. 1708, the first British Nationality Act was brought in. and Queen Anne, no, it was Queen Anne, made it void. She was a good queen, very intelligent, or she had very good advisors. Let's have a look. Maybe Graham can take YouTube to court over the England flag. I can't take everyone to court. That's the problem. You have to pick your battles. But this is a big battle. This is one called the Halsbury battle. This is about our constitutional right to freedom of elections. And if people decide, especially if they are Crown servants, meaning a returning officer, meaning the Chief of Police, Chief Constable, who's a Crown servant, the returning officer, Crown servant, and the Royal Mail acted as an agent of the Crown. That is what they're doing, by the way. And I've got that confirmed in law. And part of my submission is showing that and then showing how bad it is. But the Royal Mail are doing everything they can to get out of it. They're like, oh, right? I said, no, not having it. And then now I've got to put an application. I've got to work on it tomorrow. And I'll be sending it off to the High Court on Thursday. Well, hopefully before 4 p.m. tomorrow, just to say, listen, you can't play with this. You can't keep doing this, because people are aware that there is corruption in this country. And even right, the Halsbury's Laws of England on the 4th edition state that we can purge Marxists and fascists, or communists and fascists, from our system and from our civil service. So if there is anyone who is communist or fascist, they need to be purged from the system. And again, I'm putting a shout out to the veterans of what you describe as the British Army. It's the English Army, the Scottish Army, the Welsh Army, the Irish Army, Northern Irish Army, I may add. And again, it also backs up that Northern Ireland is a completely separate nation, as far as the laws of England are concerned, because they are separate jurisdictions. Jurisdiction in law is a very important word, but it should not be misinterpreted or used out of context with a lot of these common law of the landers are doing, right? So you just need to read law and understand it. It's not difficult, but the more you read it, the more you understand it, and then as you understand it, these people are not trained in the Constitution of England at all, right? And they all think they're Mr. Clever Clogs because, and again, I think the High Court's already said if anyone puts forward another AI paragraph or case, and the citation is never existed, and the paragraph didn't exist and the quotation don't exist, we're going to throw your case out and you will be struck off as a barrister, right? So I think that's a positive thing, right? Because you really need people to understand. There you go. Was there anything else? So just to let you know, they are playing up big time, right? Again, we are getting press interest, and the only reason we're getting press interest is because you're putting it out there, right? And people are contacting the Facebook groups, the other groups, and let me just say, let's see if I can find it for you. I need to go back to that, but that is, so make sure you send this out. I'm going to put this out again, copy the link again. Make sure everyone, if you can, on Twitter, send this out, retweet it, bookmark it, put a love the cut. It's already gone up again. It's gone up to 45 retweets, right? And then angry hippo is put. I was looking for that and I couldn't find it. Well done, angry hippo. Has put that information up there. It's now had 355 views. I did actually, I think, send something out today. I'm not sure. Let me go and have a look and see if I can go and find it. Let me get to that. Trial date. Oh, God. Oh, getting some pains going through my stomach at the moment. Or I've had something to eat. Oh. Let me have a quick look. I've tried as much as possible to be gentle on my stomach, so I'm not having anything nasty to eat. Yes, Graham, it seems the experience of these people. There is something, where does that say that? Free Citizens, Article 4. This is important post. And by the way, even under the common law of England, President Trump has the absolute right to purge communists and fascists from America, because they are American and under English common law. Right, so just to make sure everyone understands that. Let me go back to my studio thing and take that back off. I'll take that back off only because I'll go back to that private, put it back on again. John Harding, I know you've rung me. I haven't even listened to the message yet, but I've been running about like a blue house fire, doing different things. Then got back, had my hair cut, done different bits and pieces. Oh yeah, I know now. So I've booked. My cousin's funeral is on the 24th of July. Ancient English, we need a lot of purging. Ancient English, you're bang on the money. And the thing is, they don't like normal everyday people reading the law. That's why it's so important that you actually read law, and especially so you ain't got to read the whole lot, just the constitutional parts, and you'll get the idea. Listen, it's the Constitution, the Constitution, the Constitution. The Constitution is the solution. We need a lot of purging. Let's have a look. Have a nice hot curry, Graham. Purge your insides. John Aspinall. Yeah, that I don't think that'll do my insides any good whatsoever. Forgive me, Father, for they have sinned. Yeah, and they have. DD, how is our town crier? Brett, I spoke to Brett today because I wasn't far from him today, so I rang him to see if I could go round and have a meet up with him. He was out, and then by the time he rang me, he said, I'll be back indoors in an hour, so that I'm already home. Well, not home, but back on my manor. But yeah, he's not been very well. He is in quite a bad way, to be honest with you. I won't say any more, but we did have a laugh about something, and he went to me, "You're such a piss-taking bastard." I said, "No." I said, "But you're have a laugh, ain't you, Brett?" You know? He went, "Yeah, no, I agree." And I think, you know, I mean, to be fair, he has got some serious problems. I'm waiting to do my bit, the executioner. No worries. And don't forget, we want more people. The executioner, because you're in Runcorn and Halsbury, if you can try and contact local press and media, even sending them, you'd have to find their details and say, listen, you know, I voted for him. There's other people who voted for him. They're good people and not bad people. You know, and as far as I know, lots of people voted for him, well in excess of 50 votes. The people who come out to support, just to come out on the campaign days, was well in excess of that. So it's all bullshit that they're coming out with. You need marijuana, TD. I need marijuana. What do you mean, to calm me down a bit or something? Am I a bit... right? It does feel like a bit of a sugar boost at the moment. But you are friends with the Punisher. Change your excuse. Are you friends with the Punisher? What's this one? EGNR, the excuser. Hello, mate. Prayers, Brett. Yeah, no, he does need a bit of help. Any support and prayers for Brett would be fantastic. Prayers for Brett, Graham, and Charlie, and the cases going on. Yeah, no, we've got to do all that. But there's lots of things going on in the background. Like I say, they are. So I put them under pressure on behalf of us by forcing this Friday, and they weren't expecting it, and they got it large, right? So now they're all panicking. I can't express one of the things they're trying to do, and I've said no applications after this date. This is the trial date. You are going to be pleading. You're going to be there, and you can present your evidence, right? What we do know is that, and I will supply all the evidence to court at the trial, is they allege there was an investigation. They haven't shown me any evidence of an investigation. They fobbed me off. I showed them the statements, and all they've done is mark the card of the different people in them areas. That's all they've done, right? What they're doing is criminal, all right? And it's not just criminal, it's a human rights abuse. And we need to emphasise that. It's as simple as that. Annie Marr. Who's Annie Marr? The executioner. Hopefully, I'm not sure if Val is listening, but I've sent you everything. I think I've sent you everything. Get in touch with me if you haven't, and I'll try and sort it out from there. But then I've got to try and organise getting all this stuff out. I need to get a ladder and climb up onto my roof and get me sat nav satellite dish done, which ain't going to do me any favours at the minute. All right, give Graham a follow on X. Tracy Truism, thank you very much. Again, any donations, I've put it down there. I've got 2 lots of ivermectin. I've got to send that to people today, which I keep forgetting to do it. I'm going to do it today. I'll do it tonight, and I'll send that out. I don't think I've got any. I've got some more coming, I think, but I will be upscaling that today. I've got a load of envelopes here. I'll have to use them ones. I haven't got any others left. And we'll go from there. I'll do that in a minute, right? And then I'll go for it. If I put them in front of me, I'll do it as soon as I have finished. And then we'll go from what we should be doing. Right. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's the basis of it. Tell me if you've enjoyed the show. Hopefully, I've come off the thing. Hopefully, I'll probably go back on it, depending on my next case or in what I've got on. I'll go back on it next week and do another week and then come off it for a couple of days, have something to eat. But basically, you're shocking your body in, and not in a nasty way, but you're shocking your body into being. So if you was in any way insulin resistant, so it reverses diabetes. It reverses so many things. It gets rid of things. And someone said to me today, you ain't really got any wrinkles. I was saying, shut up, warrior. You're just trying to get in my pants, aren't you? No, you ain't got no wrinkles. Where's your wrinkles? If you dyed your hair, you'd look well young. Oh, shut up, right? But that's one of the things you have to put up with, isn't it? But that was just someone in or around talking to me. Right. Good night, Daddy, and everyone. Timbuktu again. Don't forget, to everyone listening to this, the Constitution is the solution. Right. It is my whole belief system, and the problem with these people, and I'm going to say that to the court. If you attack someone who believes in their rights and their constitutional or common law rights, and they stand in an election and you directly attack them people, you must expect an election petition, right? Because if we see anything that we can prove that what you're doing is wrong, and we can in this case, we're gonna go for the election petition. And the Royal Mail in particular is shitting themselves, because Ofcom will be listening, the Department of Public Prosecutions are being there listening, and here's the kicker, right? You all should understand this, right? It is a criminal offence as well as a civil offence, not to mention contempt of statute and contempt of sovereign, right? So it's expressly forbidden to go against our constitutional right of freedom of elections. That's it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Not sure how many people have hit the like button. I'm going to go and have a look now. Hopefully we've gone well over 100. We have indeed. Don't forget to subscribe. It's really important. Subscribing, hit the like button. Do me a favour, share, right? Sharing is caring. You are the only people getting this out and this message out too. I'm not even sure if I can bring this up. I'm wondering how I can. I've just sent it to someone, but I don't know how I've done it. Let's see if I can bring this up. But there is actually David Longstone, excellent stuff. Scotland and Northern Ireland are just as foreign to England as France and Germany. But that's the truth. I'm just, and the thing is, if people are ignorant of that and don't realise, that is a terrible thing for Rupert Lowe to be saying about Scotland or England. We are separate countries. And by the way, the Acts of Union stated that, right? We were separate jurisdictions. You said in an interview in Britain, okay, let's have a look. I'm trying to find. Let me have a look. There's a particular thing I sent out today, and it was on. Let me see where it is. Why would anyone vote reform when Reform are actually saying that they want more immigration? I watched recent interview with their replying, great stuff. Please read this comment. All right. So I personally believe that Rupert Lowe has muted me, right? Like all of the unionists, because he cares more about the union than he does about England, and certainly more about the union than he does about our rights. He could, if he wanted to, come back to me and literally say to me, "Look, you know, Graham, I think I've got a chat with someone tomorrow. Who am I chatting to? Oh, that's next week. I had a quick chat with Graham English earlier. He just picked up his new collection of contributions and he'll tell you tonight at 12 o'clock on Rumble all about some amazing rights the English have been awarded. This is huge. Tune in tonight. Yeah, and one of them is to purge communists and fascists. I was like, wow, right. And again, I've put that out and I've shown you it. It's in black and white. As one of our friends of the channel has said and stated, which is Wilsey from GB Resistance, you always bring the receipts. You show people where it says it in law, and we're not being told that by legal professionals, and you should be. Or they'll try and make an excuse. It don't mean what it means. Well, I've got. It's as simple as that. So, again, I'm trying to find. If I can find it, I will. But there's a clip. Oh, I put it out there last night. Well, where did I get that then? Oh, I uploaded it. So there was a clip, but I haven't shown the clip. But it's the clip. There is a clip going about. It's going to be sent out. It's going to be, I hope, put on the website. It was done by David, who's a great patriot. He's clipped me making a request to Runcorn and Halsbury. I've also sent that to the local media, right, saying you need to contact us if you, one, didn't receive our leaflets, and two, I've sent them, and also if you voted for us, because these are your rights, right? It's a major right that they're messing with, and the British. The communist fascist system is just carrying on, right? You don't want that. You have to stand up and do something, right? That's as simple as that. That's it. Good night. God bless. And I will see you all tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. As closer we get, and we'll see how we are. Touchwood, I won't be too distressed, and I'll be sleeping well tonight, hopefully. Have I had any coffee? I've had one cup of coffee today. I ain't going to have any coffee or anything, and hopefully I literally go to sleep. So that's it. Good night, God bless. And don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. Always has been, always will be. All we got to do is get it enforced. That's it. And what do you need to do there? Change the oath system to what? My oath is to England and the Constitution. It's as simple as that. Good night.